I'm Gina Cagle, Associate Editor with Radiance Magazine, and I'm here today with Mr. Charles Davis with the One Foundation. And you have an amazing message to share with people. Would you like to talk about that?
Let me explain something about the One Foundation.
Yes.
Okay. It's the only organization on this planet, I believe, you can't join, and you can't get out of it. You can't join, you can't get out of it, because it's the universe itself. It's the One Foundation for the whole damn thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And in a metaphysical, spiritual sense, the universe, for me, is G-O-D. The universe, for me, is G-O-D. The whole damn thing is alive, growing, and learning through its mistakes, too. Yeah.
Right.
It's growing and alive. And this is the One Foundation. It's one, the Holy One, the Great One. And for me, we're a lot like fish swimming through an ocean. We're completely unaware of the fact that we are in an ocean. We just, carry on like normal tunas, right? Which is kind of a shame, but every once in a while, someone begins to realize they are somehow connected into and can ride the powers of the ocean, which kind of images into a strange thing called the omnis. The omnis in this respect are omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. It's omnipresent, the universe is present everywhere. And even as I'm talking to you, I'm in Los Angeles, right?
Right.
I'm on planet Earth. So are you.
Yes.
You're in the solar system. Here I am in the solar system. Here I am in the universe.
Right.
And what I'm seeing, what I'm realizing, is it's peopled with countless forms of intelligence. All kind of ancient friends of mine. There's whales, and there's angels, and there's ETs, and there's everything you can name. Everything you can possibly name or understand. And somehow they're all kin to me. They're all kin to each of us. I also want to say, and some of them, it's like assholes come in every color, right?
Okay.
They're not all just good guys.
Right.
They're not all just, you have to test it a bit. Be friendly, be courteous, which brings me back to the idea of being here. What's really here is my spirit. This thing that you're seeing right now, this is not me. This is my body. It's kind of like my horse, and I'm riding it in a parade, or a spaceship, a space suit. At some point I put it on. It's not me, it's mine.
Right.
At some point I put it on, and at some other point, I'll take it off.
Right.
Right. So most of what I have to say is only reminding you of things that you already know. That's my highest ministry. Because your heart already knows the truth of it. It does.
Right.
And I try to, when you say, oh, this isn't me, well, that's kind of clever, that's interesting. But trying to show you something that's invisible, which is my spirit. If you were to see me, you see a dead body when you go to a funeral, right? And you go, that's Mom. It's not. What you really loved was that invisible spirit. That was Mom.
Right.
This was her body. So it becomes a practice for me to realize that I'm not this, and nor am I bound by all kinds of human limitations. Now, when I'm saying that, after practicing learning to live in the presence of God for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, right? Working in a hospital as a nurse back in the 70s, 80s, right? Very interesting things are occurring. The density of the vibrations and the horror stories that are going on in a hospital, right? And here I am trying to believe that I'm in the presence of God. And here's this poor old person smashed up, whatever. But I have this very buoyant, I almost could get up, this very buoyant, childlike attitude, and I go from room to room, kind of humming and buoyant. Buoyant. The presence of God makes me buoyant.
It would, wouldn't it?
It does, particularly when you start expanding yourself out. Here I am in Los Angeles. Here I am in the solar system. Here I am in the universe. Countless forms, and here I'm in the hospital. Right? So I was called up to the ICU unit, intensive care. Person just died. Okay, well, I'm going up to get the body, and I'm still practicing being in the presence of God. Da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, I go into the ICU. I've got my gurney, right? And the doctors are coming out of the room, all sweaty, whatever. And the man had just died, right? Because I had come up to pick up the body. And he still had those leads, you know, the little electrical things.
Right.
And the nurse was standing over him. And as the doctors were walking by me, one said to the other, "Did you know Harry?" That's the guy that died. He said, "No, I didn't." To the other doctor, "Did you know Harry?" "No, I didn't." He said, "Well, I've known him for years. His wife died about 6 months ago, and he just danced himself to death." He was rather happy, but he overdid it. You see, a bit.
Oh,
He overdid it. And he was only about 45 at that point, maybe 10 years older than I. And I was just about ready to pick up the body, transfer it, and the little voice. When you learn to live in the presence of God, you learn to take advice from all kinds of invisible spirits, right?
Right.
And the little voice said, "Why don't you ask Harry if he knows he's died?" Oh, okay. I don't have to do this verbally, thank God. That would be rather embarrassing. So I just said, "Harry, do you know you've died?" Very, very quietly, kind of like a child waking from sleep, it said, "Oh, is that what happened to me?" Make sure that's recorded. "Oh, is that what's happened to me?" And before I had a chance to say anything, ask him if he wants to come back to life. "Okay, Harry, you want to come back to life?" Little pause. Again, the weak little voice said, "Yeah, I think I would. I think I would." So here comes the other little voice. He goes, "Well, just tell him to take another breath." I said, "Harry, take another breath." And immediately, he took another breath.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, the machines are going bling, 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 bling. The nurse, she actually laid her chart on top of him and ran out of the room screaming, "Doctors, doctors, doctors, doctors." And all of a sudden, it hit me. Have I just monkeyed with cosmic karma, or what the hell? I mean, it scared me.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything more. I didn't say a word more. I just took the gurney and went away. So about a week later, the same kind of thing happened to another person that had died, right? And I came by to the little voice said, "Well, why don't you ask Judy if she wants to come back?" What do I got to lose? I mean, different to the real condition. I mean, that's up to them. So Judy, would you like ask her if she'd take another breath? And they come back to life. Well, I thought this was really hot shit. I mean, holy cow, this is the real McCoy. And it happened about 4 or 5, maybe 5 times at this point. It was about 1976. And someone I really admired was the head nurse of the hospital. Her name was Mrs. Ritchie. Mrs. Ritchie, she had an aura like you wouldn't believe. Someplace between, I don't know, this radiant bluish and precision. And a head nurse for a hospital is really a big cheese.
Yeah.
So I'm making a bed in a room at the moment, and in walks Mrs. Ritchie. She starts helping me make the bed. Now, the head nurse of a hospital doesn't make beds with a lowly orderly.
Right.
And so we made the bed, and then she says, "Let me see your hands, Charles." And I thought she wanted to see if I had dirt under my nails. She says, "No, the other side." So I turned, oh, you've got stars in your hand. Huh? I don't know. Wait, I don't know what she meant. Then she said to me, "Are you resurrecting any people?" Oh, it was like I got caught with my pants down. Total shock. How can anybody know this? This is weird. I was very ashamed to look down, and she says, "Well, Charles, have you?" I said, "Yes." Afraid I'd get fired. I don't know. And then she said, "How many?" I said, 5. She says, "Well, congratulations. There are now 4 of us in the hospital that can do that."
Wow.
Yeah, it is a wow. And then she just turned around, she said, "Carry on, Charles," and walked out of the room. But she knew something way more advanced than I did, because she had been doing this for some time. These kind of talents are becoming more and more, I don't know how many things can develop from here, but the idea of the possibility of living on earth as it is in heaven maybe originated with JC, the Master Jesus. which kind of short circuits the whole idea about having to die to get there. Maybe you're there already.
True.
And it's a little cluttered up with, you know, cement and expos, somewhat, you know what I mean? So you can't quite see it. But when we come back into nature, Mother Nature and the mountains and the oceans and the great tides and stuff, you can begin to feel that. You can actually be here, which is not heaven as a location. It's heaven as a frequency that's coming all the way through. So if we are actually offspring, children of, offspring of the universe itself, we are endowed, I believe, everybody is endowed with the same kind of powers that JC had, Jesus the Christ, or Buddha,
Right.
or any of them. We just think of ourselves, oh, I'm a lowly human being. We're really not. We are endowed as sons and daughters of God, sons and daughters of the Most High, with all these magical powers. We're just not using them at all.
Right.
We think we have to work for a living. We think we have to, you know, have to. And it's been a big part of my understanding of coming into the presence of God, eliminating and or getting rid of the have-tos. Now, there are many things I can do. Like I said, I was a nurse for many years, a music therapist, these kinds of things. And then this morning when I was thinking about this interview, sometimes we have to rise above the plane of the opposites. Right?
Okay.
And by that I mean, on earth we think that you have to die. When you're born, you die. No, it's not true. You don't have to be light, you do not have to know darkness. At some point in your spiritual maturation, you can go, no, I can just live with light and get rid of the darkness. I don't have to die. When that goes, the little seed idea, when that idea about having to die goes, what's killing us is the fear of living. It's not afraid of dying, because hardly anybody really knows what that is anyway. I mean, deep down, no, they're afraid to lose their job. They're afraid to give up, you know, their things to go on a spiritual quest. And this is what I believe Jesus said a long time ago. He said, "Seek ye first," what?
Children of God?
What did Jesus say to all of them?
When?
Seek ye first the kingdom.
The kingdom of heaven.
And where might that be?
Here.
Ta-da!
It's here and now.
Right, yeah. And
That's
to
a great
stay
message.
in that
Thank
frequency.
you so much for your time. Yes.
That's the One Foundation.
Yes, and that's the One
The
Foundation.
essence of the One
And
Foundation.
that's our work, is to remember that the
Stabilize
kingdom of God
yourself
is
in the kingdom of God, in the presence of all these divine beings.
Wonderful. Thank you so much
You're
for your
welcome.
time. I appreciate it.
You're
So
welcome.
this was Charles Davis with the One Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you.